There is a secret that could save Pepe that no one is talking about for some reason. Let's talk about what that is. And spoiler alert, at the end of this video, we're going to talk about why the SEC's regulation could actually be good for Pepe. Buckle up, let's dive into it. First of all, let's talk about the great news that's happening with Pepe right now. Up almost 16% on the day. Massive movements for Pepe, because obviously the other day we saw Pepe down about 20%. So we're since recovering a large chunk of that lost value. Market cap moving up back towards that $500 million threshold. We're seeing a nice spike in volume going close to $250 million of 24-hour volume for Pepe. Now, let's dive into why this is important, what we need to know. But first, I just want to highlight something. When we look at something like Shiba Inu is down right now up about 2%, excuse me. So it's going up, it's going in the positive direction like the overall crypto market right now. But Pepe's obviously up a lot more than Shiba Inu, and I think that's because of an important factor that we're going to talk about here in just a second. Now, why is Pepe going up so much? When we scroll out, when we zoom out, and we look at the long term, it looks kind of small. Doesn't look like a very big move up that we experienced for Pepe right in here just the other day. But when we zoom in, we actually look at how significant this value increase was. We can see from the bottom all the way up to the top, you're looking at basically 20% movement from the bottom to the top. We've since pulled back a little bit, so we're not seeing all that gain right now. But we were 20% from the bottom to the top for Pepe. And one of the large factors, the first thing we want to discuss here, why this happened in my opinion, is the strong community behind Pepe. This was kind of a meme tweet from Polly. Your top 100 cryptocurrency or token that went from 0 to $1.6 billion in 3 weeks and got listed on basically every exchange in the world is dead. This is a lot of people on Twitter in the comment section right now that are saying, well, Pepe's dead, Pepe's over, there's no more hope for Pepe. Pepe is a done project, it's going to go straight to zero because we saw this decline from the all-time highs. But remember, this massive spike that we saw, this occurred in just a couple weeks. This has never really happened before in the state of crypto, where we see this massive run up right after a project is created. We obviously saw a massive run up, for example, with Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, where you can look at the historical prices and see, yeah, they did experience some massive significant run ups that happened in a very short time span, but it was not right after a project was made. This was months, if not years, after some of these different projects were created, whereas Pepe right off the bat blew up. And so this is the first thing that's important. The strong community behind Pepe. We're doing things that have literally never been done before, at least not with these meme coin space. Yes, we have the other big ones like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, but they took time before they could see this massive run up. And to really highlight this point, we could see this post from Gemini responding to Elon Musk. They put out a Twitter poll and said Doge or Pepe, and the vast majority of people are voting for Pepe over Dogecoin with 10,000 votes. So many people would rather support the Pepe community right now than the Doge community, which is really significant because Doge has such a large following when we compare it to Pepe. Before we get into that, make sure you guys subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, and while you're at it, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Let's dive right into it. Okay, so why is it such a big deal that the SEC is going after right now Binance and Coinbase, and why could this actually be a good thing for Pepe? Well, when Binance got attacked by the SEC just the other day and the Coinbase today, some things were highlighted. First of all, with the Binance attack, the SEC called a bunch of different cryptocurrencies securities, notably BNB, Solana, ADA, Atom, Filecoin, AXS, a lot of these different ones were deemed securities. And the reason why this was deemed securities is because they applied the Howie Test. As you guys can see in this tweet, highlights the Howie Test in detail to 10 tokens, including AXS, SAN, Matic, and basically they highlighted some key takeaways that the SEC is going after bigger tokens. They're looking at everything as evidence, including different tweets that were put out. They ended up highlighting tweets that were put up by the Sky Mavis team behind the AXS tokens, and some of this important information. But another key thing that they were looking at was token sales. A lot of these tokens had token sales initially, private sales, things of that nature, where they took investment initially from people, then spent that money towards development of the token. And with Pepe, there's definitely some speculation. Maybe the founder ended up giving himself some Pepe, maybe these different things happened, but there's really no speculation out there that Pepe had massive token private sales that were happening initially. That just was not the case with Pepe. Maybe the founder gave themselves some tokens, but they were not selling tokens to hundreds of people like some of these other cryptocurrencies, which is so important to note, because to do that, you have to comply with securities regulation. And if you do token sales without complying with securities regulation, it is a securities violation. They don't really care that it's cryptocurrency, unfortunately. They don't really care that we're doing our own thing. We're trying to avoid regulation. That's exactly why they're coming after us, because we're trying to avoid regulation. With Pepe, Pepe is safe in that regards because Pepe doesn't really have token sales. So when you look at what the Howie Test really is, there's a couple key things. an investment of money in a common enterprise with an expectation of profit to be derived from the efforts of others. Now, you might think, well, that basically encompasses everything, doesn't it? But there's certain particular examples where they want to apply this, an investment of money generally into a corporation or something that resembles a corporate entity. When you're selling tokens initially in these different cryptocurrency projects, for example, governance tokens, you effectively have all the aspects of a share of a company. You have voting rights, you have the ability to get profits, maybe distributions. There's a lot of different things that are very similar. So that would become a problem where with Pepe, it's more similar to a commodity because it's something that is being traded. There were not really tokens being sold initially as if they were being shares in a company. There's not really a team behind the project that's trying to take the money and then use it to fund future development, things like that. Yes, they set aside some tokens initially, but those were not funds that they ended up selling off to people initially to then fund development. They set aside tokens for exchange listings, not for development of the project. And because there were no terms of sale, no valuations put on the Pepe token initially when people were buying in, for example, in a private sale, you're not really having an expectation of profit. They're not saying, we're going to grow this thing at X rate per year, X percentage per year. None of that stuff was outlined for Pepe. They just started hitting us with memes, started going ham with memes, and derived profits from others. That's another key aspect here. Again, the Pepe team, they have some funds for exchange listings. They have their Twitter account, but that's basically it. They're not out here building out an entire blockchain for us to then gain value from their efforts. It's a very different scenario. And so Pepe, in my opinion, is probably one of the safer bets, at least for me personally. Of course, make sure you do your own due diligence, do your own research before investing in any cryptocurrency. If you're talking about legal securities laws, make sure you're consulting a lawyer before making any decisions in that regard. But for me personally, with my knowledge of securities laws, I think Pepe has one of the better chances. Now, that doesn't mean by any means Pepe is 100% safe, but I think that Pepe could get around a lot of these things that are hitting these other cryptocurrencies because I think Pepe doesn't really qualify under some of these different standards and how they're applying these different standards. It just doesn't match up with these other cryptocurrencies. So I think that's a big thing for Pepe that I think could help save Pepe, help drive so much value to Pepe, because as the SEC is going against Coinbase, they're going against Binance, big exchanges in the crypto space. They're labeling massive cryptocurrencies as securities. There's a lot of uncertainty. People are afraid of these different cryptocurrencies now. People sometimes don't want to be involved when there's litigation going on. And so money will funnel out of those cryptocurrencies into other ones. Where do I think money could get funneled? I think money could get funneled into Pepe. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Do you think Pepe is a security, or do you think Pepe is exempt from these different securities due to the nature of how Pepe actually was launched and how Pepe is functioning right now? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. If you want to learn more about how Pepe could overtake Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, check out this video up here, and I'll catch you on the next one.